templates can be daunting to beginners, but Kimmy Brunner is going to show you how fun they can be when you know how to use them. Look what Kimmy has here, a stack of quilts. There's nothing better than that.
I love a stack of quilts. I brought you a stack of quilts today to show you examples of real quilts on which I use templates so that I can show you, here's what I do with them in the real world instead of just on a sample piece or a piece of paper. So let's walk through them one at a time, and I'll show you how I use my templates and why I use templates in the way that I did. In this first example, I like this one because it's almost architectural in its layout.
It is.
It adds a whole lot of structure to the quilt. It's really, really cool. And you could use this as a standalone design, but what I used it for...
Love the spinning block.
Thank you very much. This was my travel piece. Or remember I talked in the previous episode about you want to draw it out so you figure out where you can travel to eliminate a start and stop. I traveled in the middle so I could do the whole thing with one start and one stop. So you could stitch this alone if you wanted to, but I used it as a frame.
Oh my goodness gracious. That's the same, it is.
It's the same block.
Wow.
Here it is, naked, and here it is, dressed up with freehand work.
Goodness gracious.
It adds a little bit of structure and it adds kind of a touch of formality. It's like putting a frame on your painting. The painting's pretty all by itself, but it looks a whole lot better with a frame around it. Here's my frame, here's my painting.
Right.
So use templates to create frames for your freehand work.
And also that you use two different threads. It makes it so
actually,
lively.
I didn't. It's just
it's a variegated.
Yeah, it's a variegated
that's even
thread.
better.
And it looks really cool where all that stitching comes together. It gives the illusion of light moving across your quilt. I like that very much. And this was all stitched out just with one straight ruler and a couple of easy marks, drawing, drawing, drawing to figure out what my path was. On this next example, I had a little bit too much white space around this block, and I didn't want to just fill and fill and fill because that gets a little bit boring. I wanted to use my templates in such a way that I created a frame for my block, and I also created a path for your eye to follow so that you are seeing the things that I want you to see on this little baby quiltlet. I wanted these lines to draw you in, to see the curved cross-hatching work that I did here right in the center of my block, but I also wanted you to look out to my borders where I did more template work with orange thread on this pink fabric. These shapes create almost like an arrow that point you the eye right where I want you to go. So in addition to framing your work, use your templates to lead the viewer through the quilt in the way that you want them to see your quilt.
Even though we don't realize that that's what's happening, but it does exactly that.